Welcome back. One lawmaker on Capitol Hill is looking to crack down on an aspect of artificial intelligence that deals with minors. In a letter to tech giant Meta this week, Senator Ed Markey urged the company to ban minors from accessing the AI chatbots on its Facebook and Instagram platforms because of concerns over child safety. Now, this isn't the first alarm raised by Markey over the next-gen technology. 2 years ago, the senator also wrote a letter calling for Meta to pause the release of these AI chatbots until more was known about possible risks they pose to children. Since then, the bots have been blamed for several issues, including engaging in sexual language with children and encouraging self-harm. In response to the senator's letters, a Meta spokesperson tells NBC News that the company already announced temporary steps in August addressing minors' use of AI characters, including training chatbots not to respond to teens on self-harm, suicide, disordered eating, or potentially inappropriate romantic conversations. Democratic Senator Ed Markey of Massachusetts joins us now. Senator, this is now the second letter you've sent to Meta about your concerns over these AI chatbots. How do you see the risk landscape currently for teens when it comes to this AI technology?
Well, we have a crisis in our country. In 2023, according to CDC and the Surgeon General of the United States, 1 in 4 teenage girls in the United States actually contemplated suicide. 1 in 8 teenage girls in the United States actually attempted suicide in 2023. 1 in 5 LGBTQ youth attempted suicide in 2023, and the Surgeon General pointed the finger at social media as one of the principal reasons why we're seeing this dramatic rise, this incredible crisis that we're seeing amongst teenagers in our nation. And in 2023, I wrote to Zuckerberg, to Meta, and I just said, do not allow teenagers to be on these AI chatbots unless there are absolute impenetrable safeguards that are built into place. They did not build in those safeguards. They did not, in fact, take into account the very vulnerability of teenagers and children in our society. And once again, we're seeing that Meta, and by the way, other social media companies as well, seek to monetize the young people in our nation. They're just making them just another product to be marketed in terms of their names and what they're doing. But ultimately, the vulnerability of our children, of teenagers in our society, is continuously undermined. And what AI bots are doing are absolutely so dangerous to our society that unless we crack down, and that's what I'm asking the Federal Trade Commission to do, it's just to crack down on Meta, crack down on AI chatbots so that they do not continue to pose this incredible danger to young people in our society.
You raise a concern that's near and dear to my heart as a parent of a now teenage child. I also have another child who's younger, and trying to navigate the technology that is accessible to them right now as a parent myself is incredibly challenging. And so I'm wondering, in your outreach again to Meta, have you gotten any response?
Again, the only response that I receive and the American public receives is that they're concerned. But they're not so concerned that they're going to just block young people, teenagers, from having access to AI chatbots. They're not going to do that because they make money off of it. And so as a result, they're using young people in our country as guinea pigs, as social media guinea pigs. And we know that they are suffering. They are absolutely paying a huge price generationally. We need to absolutely take the research which has been done, and we need more research in terms of the impact on young people in our society. But unless and until we do that, until we crack down on Meta, crack down on these other companies, these young people are going to continue to be guinea pigs, and we're going to see a continuation of this increase in depression and suicide ideation amongst young people in our society. And it is a crisis that must be dealt with, and Meta is at the core of this problem in our country.
Look, we at my house don't allow our kids on social media, but the genie's out of the bottle. A lot of their friends are on social media, and they're young. And these AI technologies continue to develop, so they're part of this next generation's lifestyle at this point. But back in 2023, when you initially reached out and said, don't go there, Meta responded to your concerns, saying in part, quote, we're rolling out AI features methodically and in stages, so if concern arises, we can work to address it before we expand access to the feature for more people. They also said that given the broad appeal and usefulness of these features, it's imperative that we also take feedback and build models on data from teens as well as adults. Here we are 2 years later. How'd that play out?
Well, I'm the author of the Child Online Privacy Protection Act, which protects kids under the age of 13 in our country. And these companies continue to be fined for violations of that law. But my new proposal raises that age up to under the age of 17. We have to guarantee that there are protections, that these kids are not targeted, that they are not being used as, again, as social media guinea pigs by these large companies. We have to pass laws in our country. The Congress has sat on the sidelines, blocked by these big tech companies from putting the safeguards in place to protect this younger generation of Americans. And unless and until the Congress steps up and has the courage to take on big tech, we're going to see the young people in our nation paying the price. And they're going to look back 10, 20 years from now. They'll be writing books about why did the adults, why did the leaders of our country allow us to be used as this experiment for the profit of large companies in our nation? So we're at a critical point right now. All of the evidence points towards Congress acting and acting now because we're in an emergency for young people in our nation.
But I thought this was an issue that had bipartisan support and alignment. I recall months ago covering a hearing live here during our show with all of these heads of many of these technology platforms testifying before Congress, getting pushed on specific types of regulations that could be put into place. What changed?
Well, ultimately, I've introduced the bill for 10 years, and everyone says the right things. But then at the end of the day, when it comes to passing the bills, there's a few calls that are made by the tech giants, and all of a sudden, leadership says that bill cannot move. And so we're going to come back again this year and try it again. But the overwhelming evidence, as it piles up, is that Congress right now is complicit with Meta, with all of these companies, in the mental health crisis that is afflicting teenagers in our society right now, especially teenage girls. So yeah, they say the right things, but are they going to take action? We'll give them an opportunity before the end of this year to prove that they care about it by forcing a vote in the United States House and Senate.
It's an impact that's being felt by families all across this country and around the world, frankly, and by both boys and girls who are impacted. Senator Ed Markey, thank you for joining us and sharing your passion, and please keep us posted on your efforts.